This analysis from Fidelity, the investment fund the legendary investor Peter Lynch used to manage, shows that a single indicator would have given you a 36% higher return than the market per year since 2009. And the thing is, this is literally one of the simplest indicators out there. It's so simple that I don't think people think it's intellectual enough to be worthy of investing videos. Which is stupid, really, because it's pretty consistently beaten the market. So in this video, I'm going to show you what it is, where to find it, and how to use it. There are professional financial analysts who work for institutions, banks, brokerages, think Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs, or even independent financial research firms. And the roles of these professionals are to follow specific companies, model their revenue and profits, analyze the outlook of their industry, and in many cases talk directly to the company's management team, all in the hope of better understanding the potential of that business. They do this all day, every day. And they're actually pretty good at it, but how does that help us? Well, these analysts publish reports on the outlook of those businesses. And for the purposes of this video, there are two key things that they publish which we care about: a rating for the stock and a price target for the share price. So let's look at both of those separately, and then we'll look at where to find and how to use that information. For the stock rating, most firms use a numeric scale behind the scenes, usually 1 to 5, and then they band that into plain English categories. 1 is very positive. It's a strong buy indicator, and then it gets worse as we go down. Buy, hold, sell, strong sell. Some firms will publish slightly different categories. You might see the terms positive, neutral, underperform, but they all broadly mean the same thing. Pretty cool though, right? That we can see these exact recommendations for individual stocks. And then we have the second key figure, the target price, which can seem kind of confusing because it's like, the target for what? Is that the price they think the stock should be now or in 10 years' time? What is it exactly? Well, it's actually pretty uniform, but it's never exact. The normal time period for a price target is around 12 months. It can vary slightly, but it's basically always between a 6 to 18 month target. So the analyst is basically saying, we expect this company to be trading at a price of X in around about 12 months time. Very cool and very useful. But now let's look at how you can find this data and how you should use it. I sent an email out last week talking about analyst recommendations to the users of my free stock screener. We actually crossed the 10,000 user mark for the stock screener this week. Absolutely wild. If you haven't seen it, it's totally free. I use the lower and balanced risk strategies. I update it every week. There's a link below. And for the active investors amongst you, I've been working on a mega project for the Hello Stocks site. It's going to help you create your own strategies, get daily updates, and compare stocks directly to their competitors. I'll be sharing a special founder offer to a select few next week. If you're interested, there's a link below so you get notified when that happens. But in that email from last week, I shared a resource where you can find analyst recommendations in a really nicely laid out format. Go to this URL, uk.finance.yahoo.com/quote/ the ticker you're interested in /analysis. So if you wanted to look at Nvidia, whose ticker symbol is MVDA, you'd replace that ticker bit with MVDA. I'll put a link in the description as well. Also, to see the graphs that I'm about to show you, it seems to have the UK bit at the start, for me anyway. If I didn't put the UK bit in and just went to finance.yahoo.com, it doesn't show the recommendations charts. I don't know why. Maybe they are somewhere else on the US site. If you know, leave a comment. But it doesn't really matter, because if you go to this URL, even though it says UK, it still shows all the US stocks, which is the market I focus on because the US is very pro-business, but that's a conversation for another day. Lots of websites show analyst recommendations, and they could vary slightly depending on which analysts are contributing to them. I've always liked the way Yahoo displays the information, and they have a really good depth of data, so it's a good option. So let's look at how to use this information, because that's what we actually care about, right? It's quickly worth mentioning these earnings charts, because a lot of people get massively stung during earnings season. And I have to talk about it so you don't get stung. If a company outperforms its earnings target, that does not mean the share price will go up, because a lot of the time, the market already expects it to beat its earnings. Look here, you can see Nvidia beats its earnings every quarter. It's been doing that for years. The market will be expecting Nvidia to beat its earnings at the next earnings call. If it merely hits its target earnings, even though that sounds like a good thing, I guarantee the share price would drop, at least short term. I see a lot of people get caught out by this all the time. They buy a stock because the earnings are about to come out and they think the company will beat the target earnings, which perhaps they do. But the investor hadn't considered that actually the rest of the market thought they would beat earnings as well. So the price was already adjusted for that. And very often you'll get high growth stocks that beat their target earnings, but still see a share price drop in the short term, because the market thought that they would beat earnings by even more than they actually did. Don't get tricked by that. Trying to predict the short-term outcomes of earnings calls is not a good way to invest. Now, let's move our attention to this section, the analyst recommendations, which shows you how the recommendation has changed over the last 4 months and how many analysts have contributed to those recommendations. Larger cap stocks garnering more attention will have more analysts looking at them. Really small caps might have no analysts looking at them, and then you've got everything in between. But this is Nvidia, so there's 63 analysts, with 48 saying it's a buy and 10 saying it's a strong buy. The rest are saying it's either a hold or underperform. Contrast that to this stock, Palantir, where the main chunk of the chart is yellow, because 17 of the 25 analysts are saying Palantir is a hold. Now, the word hold kind of infers that you already own the stock and you should hold on to it. But really, it's basically telling you that most analysts don't think there's a huge upside potential for Palantir over the next year or two. But they're not necessarily expecting a huge drop either. Basically, they're saying it's not a disastrous investment, but there are better investments out there. Whereas the underperform and sell recommendations are more like saying, don't go near this stock, and if you do own it, sell it. Then we have the price target, showing the mean average of all the prices that analysts expect the stock to achieve within around 12 months. But Yahoo also shows the range, so the lowest and highest expectations that analysts have, which can be a really useful reality check. As home investors picking individual stocks, we need to stack as many things in our favor as we possibly can. Analyst recommendations are one of those things that help us increase the confidence in our decision making. But considering how useful they are, people don't talk about them nearly enough. In part, I think it's because it's almost too easy. Maybe people think it's too good to be true, or they'd rather focus on complex ratios so they can feel like an investing genius. And hey, nothing wrong with that, right? But don't forget about these very simple analyst recommendations. Even if I really liked a stock, if there was a very heavy consensus to sell from the analyst recommendations, it would really make me reconsider buying it. This research by Fidelity tracked bearish to bullish analyst recommendations across thousands of stocks since 2009. And the very bullish stocks outperform the very bearish stocks by 3.4 times. This line is the market average for those thousands of stocks over the same time period. This isn't the S&P 500, by the way. I think this consists of around 6,000 stocks. And if you want further proof that these recommendations are still relevant, Bloomberg track an index of the top 50 stocks by analyst recommendation consensus. And over the last 12 months, those stocks achieved an average of 19.8% versus the S&P's 16%. So all that's left for you to do is hone down to a promising selection of potential investments so you can check them against analyst consensus. And this video here will help you do exactly that, by walking you through the steps I take to help find great businesses trading at fair to low valuations.